Hello and welcome to this Let's Play of the Banner Saga. The Banner Saga is a game developed by Stoic. It got released in 2014. There are three installments, so there's three different games, and the story evolves over the three installments. So this one was the first one, the second one was released in 2016, and the third one in 2018. And it's a turn-based RPG where you travel through a world set in Norse mythology, and you try to survive with your party and everybody else who else is traveling with you. You can import your characters into the next installment, into the next game, if that's something you want to do. And that is also the idea of this Let's Play, this playthrough. I'm gonna try to go through an entire run over the three games with the same party. That's the idea. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to do that, but we'll see. The game itself, like I said, is a turn-based RPG. There are not a lot of options in the settings here, so you cannot adjust any graphical settings at all. You can change the difficulty. There's an easy and a harder mode, if that's something you like. I'm going to play on normal because, like I said, I want to take it all the way to the end. Languages are fairly good. I mean, there's a large choice of languages you can choose from. Audio settings. Unfortunately, like in many games, they did not separate the ambient noise from the effects, and there's often a little bit of static. I think it's trying to represent footsteps or something, and I can't turn the sound any lower because then you don't hear the regular sound effects anymore either, so fortunately I can't do anything about that. Yeah, there are not a lot of settings here. You can play with a controller though. Where is that? Gamepad here. So if that's something you want to do, I'm going to try to play with the gamepad at some point. I'm going to start now with the mouse and keyboard. Yeah. Yeah, this game was kickstarted, so a lot of the Kickstarters got their own banner. So there's 11 pages of them, of banners, like you can choose from. I personally like this one right here, so I'm gonna go with that one. I'm not sure who's that banner, doesn't say. So let's get into it. Start a new game. The story in the Banner Saga changes based on the choices you make. You will occasionally switch between lead characters, witnessing the story unfold from different perspectives. The gods are dead. In their wake, a man and a giant survive through a tenuous alliance, driving black destroyers called Dredge deep into the northern wastes. Now is an era of growth and trade. Life goes on. Only one thing has stopped: the sun.
Að sjá dreggjana á ferli neðanbor. It has been several long months on the road. The first signs of snowfall accost us on our approach to Strand, largest of the trade cities on the Val-human borders. And our last collection before returning to the capital. Several days ago, the sun simply came to a stop in the sky. Though during these long winter days, none of us can be certain how long it has been this way. Some of the men in the caravan have taken it as a dire omen. I am not quick to superstition, but I myself will be glad to be done with this year's rounds. We have been warned by stranded travelers about brigands on the path through Ridgehorn, our road home. Our captain seems unconcerned. Perhaps he is as eager as I to be done here. We will rest here this day and inquire further when we speak to the governor.
Komið skjótt! Komið í höfnina miklu! Skist ég leyfa oss að syngja?
Oh my.
Hverfið á braut! Engan eigi ég hlut að máli þessu!
You've arrived just in time. The chieftain in red and his men are now looking at a tougher fight than they bargained for. Drag around the screen to see your surroundings. Click the check mark to continue. These portraits show the order of your initiative, taking turns from left to right. Your allies are blue, enemy is red. It's your turn. Okay, so these are the characters that are taking turns. Movement happens before action. This ring shows your shield banging. Banger is active. These blue tiles around him show where he can move. Okay. Some characters fill more tiles than others. The horned allies are a race of giants called Varl, who take up 4 tiles each, while humans fill a single tile. This can have a huge impact on your strategy. Click the tile you want to move on, then click the check mark to confirm. Move your shield banger here, and then get him to attack. To target the enemy, click the tile on which they stand. All tiles are blue, enemies are red. Target this enemy now by clicking this tile. You can choose to either attack the enemy's strength or break his armor. The number beneath each icon shows the damage you will do to that stat. Strength counts as both health and damage. A loss of 2 strength means you'll now do 2 less damage. If strength falls to 0, the character falls in battle. The armor blocks strength damage, but can be reduced by break attack. By breaking armor, you open them up to take more damage in the future. This enemy has only 5 strength. Click the fist now to attack. Okay. He's down. Each time you make a kill, your renown grows, which is used later to improve your characters. After taking an action, your turn ends. Next up is the enemy. Turns always alternate, even if you are outnumbered. Despite being at full strength, the achievement will now do little damage against your shield banger's high armor. Okay. Now it's your Warhawk's turn. He appears to be out of range of these enemies, but all characters will use willpower to boost their actions. Willpower is a limited resource, so use it wisely. By clicking on the gold tiles, a character can move further than usual at the cost of 1 willpower per gold tile. Red pulsing tiles beneath your enemy shows how close you'll have to get to be in range. Alright. Standard attacks only affect a single enemy, but your Warhawk has a special ability that gives him a unique advantage. Click your Warhawk's tile to access this ability. By clicking your character, this tile will bring up all his combat options, including move, ability attack, and end turn. Tempest. The ability description appears in the tooltip below. The Warhawk's Tempest allows him to slam multiple enemies at once. Select an enemy and then confirm your choice. I have to click on... okay. That was easy. That made quick work of the chieftain's bodyguards. When there is only one enemy left, players enter pillage mode. During pillage, each character moves in order and there are no more guaranteed turns. Check the initiative to show how the order has changed. Your allies now get to move twice in a row. If a character does not move on his turn, he can rest to regain 1 willpower. The chieftain will rest this turn. Okay. Looks like the chieftain is in some trouble. Your shield bangers won't be able to finish the job with a normal attack, but willpower can be used to boost your damage. Click the chieftain's tile to attack. Click the fist and then the stars above. Ah, here, this one. The fist will add willpower. The number of stars available each turn are determined by your exertion stat. That's the green one, okay. Willpower is yellow. Oh, it's blue is break. Oh, it's... oh. Armor and break are both blue. You'll have to see the damage number go up as you add willpower, check a star, and then the green check mark to kill us. Ding! Victory! The foe's lying! Oh, well, that was really fast. I cannot read that fast. 6 renown. Is that good?
A rabid wolf, that one. How did it come to this? We fool ourselves believing that peace will last. My grandfather built all this from a poor fishing village, you know. He watched the gods die, watched the chaos that followed, watched man and var slaughter each other, even before the dreads arose. All we've done is traded one struggle for another. Now that there are no more dreads to war against, we war against ourselves. This chieftain meant to kill me, and he's not the first. A dozen families in the city would gladly take my chair. This one had men waylaying merchants, both north and south of the city, strangling trade, quite well, I would add, though he denied it to his lust. This sort of wolf doesn't stop biting because the head is cut off. It just grows a new head. I am in a bad way, my friend. Help me finish this fight and I'll gladly send you on your way with double our king's tithe. Take any men you need. They're loyal, I promise you that. They will meet you down in the proving grounds.
Oof. That's a bit of a massacre. Chapter 1. Only the sun has stopped. Alright, it has been a while since I played this game, so... You're approached by a familiar man who walks in step with you as you're leaving the Great Hall. He cuts to the chase. Eirik, steward of Strand. I manage the governor's business. Euban, isn't it? It is. I'm just here for the tide. What do you want? What do you want? The governor tells me you'll be giving us a hand. Seems a bit chaotic around here, Eric. I didn't exactly agree. What did you have in mind? Scalfings that you didn't hack up in the Great Hall, scattered after you took out their chieftain. The governor just wants to make sure they stay down. Was hoping you'd join me at the marketplace by the docks. If there's anyone left to worry about, I know who can tell us. Let me handle this. You meander through rows of open face houses and eroded stalls, colored canvases flap on a briny current. One man in particular blanches as you approach. Hat, I'm not in the mood today. For what? Talking to an idiot. The Scalfling's chieftain bled out about an hour ago, Had. Oh no, it's the other guy. So when you tell me what rat anus the rest of them crawled back into, nobody's going to try to kill you this time. Don't talk to. They don't talk to me. I don't. Eric needs some help here. I don't have the patience for this. Had sweats visibly, fumbling with some dirty trinkets on his table. Wait, just buy one of these. If everybody thinks I'm getting worked over every week, how am I supposed to know much? Just a little food money, yeah? Do nothing. Eric overturns his flimsy table, scattering Had's assortment of junk across the ground. Gods, Eric, laying it on a bit heavy, don't you think? Where are the Scalflings? No one up East Wall, up by East Wall, but that was months ago, last I know. Had skulks away with a wave of Eric's hand, gathering things from his hovel, disappearing for a while until this blows over, you figure. Your bodyguards step forward. Gunnulf, are we done here? Gunnulf, were you wearing green back at the Great Hall? Euban. Gunnulf, no, just bought them while you were walking around. Why? You look like a frog. Better than an eggplant? Gunnulf goes off to look at more stalls. Eric, that man of yours seemed unreliable at best. Eric, a blind dog wouldn't trust Had, but he used to be Scalfling. If they are licking their wounds, they'll probably gone to old hounds, not new ones. Nobleman is a meat hall. Best I can tell, the name's ironic. Listen, I know a guy who would love to put a few of these skulls in the ground. I'm going to find him. I'll meet you there. Shouldn't we have an approach of some sort? Where is this place again? After this, I'm done here. It's not up to me, my friend. Just make sure the governor remembers his promise. Double the usual tide. I'll remember him. I'll remind him. Okay. We can go to the meat house. I guess we're doing that. You arrive in front of what must be nobleman. A few minutes later, Eric appears, with a weather-beaten man introduced as Valgard. I'll pull them out, Eric says over his shoulder. Ready? We're walking through the front door. I'd rather sit this one out. Yeah. They ran to a meat house, says Valgard. I'll be surprised if they can stand up straight right now. Okay, here we go. Valgard boots the front of door open so hard it won't close again without repair. As you enter the hall, Eric is already at the head of the table, his axe drawn. Wide-eyed, drunken scalfings scramble to find their own weapons, turning tables and meat stains in the process. Well, this is a bigger fight. Are we ready? I don't know. Oh, we can move them initially. Okay. Does it say how many movement points we have? I don't remember. I think we're better put this guy closer over here. Like that, maybe. I was hoping... Look at them, it's gonna be a butchery. Okay. Which one is that? Over here. Then it's Eric. So I can't even get to them unless I use the willpower. Guess we're doing that. Stone wall? What does that do? Stone wall blocks damage to strength and armor for 1 round. Seven, 8, 8, 6. So this guy got more armor. So we can either... Hold on. We're doing 10 damage. Ah, okay. So he's got 8 armor, so there's 2 damage left. Or... What else can we do? No, we can't do anything else. We can't hit this guy. No. Or we can break 2 of his armor. Up to 4. That sounds good actually. I think we're gonna do that. Because 2 damage is not much, right? And he can hit for 4. Is there a way for us to hit on the same guy? No. Let's try to get some of the damage off this guy. Alright, so we can't really do much now with this guy. Yeah. End turn, I guess. Alright. Can we get close to these guys? No. So I wonder if Tempest is gonna hit the other guy as well. There's some indication that it will? No, it will not. Okay. We might as well just attack this guy. So we're back to this guy. To who's this? Valgard. Valgard can hit this guy for 5, then he just goes down to 1 health, rendering him pretty useless. Or we could hit this guy again for 6, killing him. So that sounds good. Alright, we can move around to here, or we could go there. That's probably safer, right? And then we hit this guy for as much as we can. Eric isn't that so good. A little bit. Oh, we can use our willpower maybe to hit a little bit harder. Yeah. That sounds good. So he's reduced to 1, right? Yeah, 1 health. And then we can use this guy to... Well, how come... Okay, I see. We cannot turn the camera, it seems. I don't think so. There. So with tab you can show every stat. It's a bit confusing now. I'm gonna turn that off. Alright, let's move this guy closer so we can tank these guys. Seven, 8, and how we got 9, so we can kill this guy. I think we're gonna do that. Oh no, we can only kill. Oh yeah, the armor. The armor, you have to subtract the armor. So that's 2 only. Damn, that's a bit disappointing. They have high armor, man. Maybe I should remove some of the armor then. 7, 8. 10, 6. That looks like a good whirlwind. Time for some Tempest action. Okay, not sure what just happened. These guys got reduced pretty low. And Eric got beaten a lot. Okay. Eric. I guess we're just finishing off this guy then. Oh, I thought we were playing with Eric. We were playing with Valgard. 5. That's not gonna kill this guy. Rally. What's rally? Rally gives willpower to allies at any range. Gives 2 willpower to an ally. Ah, okay. I guess we should use that at some point. So we can't really do much to this guy. Unless we use willpower, but... Alright, it's the shield bangers time. I guess we got 9 attack. So let's reduce this guy a little bit, or we can kill this guy, right? No, we cannot kill him. Oh, maybe I should have used willpower in that case. Oh wow. What the hell is that? Can I see this guy's abilities? No. Hold on. I'm gonna use tap anyway. So we can only kill this guy. Who's next? That guy. And we can hit him for 3. If we don't do anything, he's gonna... Yeah, he can't really do much, right? He can only hit for 1, I think. Let's just kill this guy then. Seems to be the best option. Hit it like you mean it. Oh, we could... Yeah, let's use some renown. Willpower, sorry. Willpower. Not renown. I can't really do much with... I'm gonna give some willpower to him, I guess. So we entered pillage mode. Oof, we took quite a lot of damage. Promotion tempered by blood. Oh, 9 renown. Okay. There they are. Gods be damned. I've got to go wash off this blood. Eric is looking out the hall's windows onto the bay. A fleet of longships approach with sails of bold red and blues. Euban. One banner I know well. Wagner. Next for Vile Kingship, last we spoke. The other flag? Looks important. Eric. Yeah, important guests. See what I deal with all day long? Human. Things makes a little more sense. You'd hoped I have a stake in saying everything's fine here when the royal guests arrived. Eric, not me, the governor. Now I have to make sure there are no rotting bodies or pools of entrails still in the Great Hall before they come by. Can I ask for one more favor? What is it? If you happen to stall our guests down at the docks, I wouldn't object. Maybe I will. Eric and Valgard hustle from the meat house. To his credit, Eric tosses the barkeep a spar of silver for the mess. You give an apologetic shrug and go to the street. Go to greet the new arrivals down at the docks. Docks. Wagner. A familiar Varl steps onto the docks. In your mind you recall a much younger version, tramping the hall of Grofheim, abundant in purpose. Wagner. Gods! Uben, you're looking ancient. Uben. Comes with being old, and if there is Wagner, there must be Hakon. Hakon. Must there? Still bleeding tributes from the poor and stupid old yaks? At what age do you lose a sense of shame? Human. Jorunde demands it. I'll take that over lingering to death in Grofheim. Speaking of, I had no sense that you were so far from home. Wagner. Just returned from Arborang, in fact. Hakon. And glad for it. Hakon motions to the other ships in the bay, sails still fluttering, golden wolf-head emblazoned on the red. The king of men, or someone on his behalf. Hakon, the king's whelp. Wagner, the king's son, Ludin. Don't you know, Scrivener? We visit his capital, he visits ours. It's how you make alliances these days. Hakon, it's a miserable waste of time. Yes, Hakon has it. I'd almost forgotten. It's a good thing you've around, Hakon. You win. Then you're going to Grofheim. I have the distinct feeling I've finished my business in Strand and was heading there myself. We should caravan. Wagner, we should. Give it a day. In better circumstances I'd drink a week away, but let's just be done. Find me tomorrow at the gates. Hakon, what he's trying to say is the prince is a delight to behold. Wagner, where's Mugger? Hakon, have him find a place to put up the warriors. I'm heading up to meet the governor. A host of giants departs in his wake. You recognize a few, others are strangers to you. Hakon, guess I'm off to find Mugger. See you in the morning, Scrivener. I'll be along, says Human. The young prince of men ambles from his ship. He brushes off his tunic, scanning the beach with low eyelids. Ludin looks for all the world the sort of boy he grew up pulling the legs from spiders. Looks for all the world the sort of boy who grew up pulling the legs from spiders. The long road back to Grofheim should be more interesting than most years, you think? Weariness suddenly settles in and you chuckle to yourself about what an odd day it has been. One of the governor's men at the Great Hall could find you a place to sleep. On the other hand, if you're going to join Wagner's caravan tomorrow, it might not hurt to share a drink with Hakon or introduce yourself to the prince they spoke so highly of. So we can go to Hakon. or go to the prince. Ewan, is this the right place? You find the prince at the inn. Guards blanket the building, including a sharp-eyed varl who must be working for Ludin. A woman in red eventually waves you over and stands nearby, arms crossed. Ewan, greetings, Prince Ludin. Yes, you're with Wagner? I don't remember you, says Ludin. Ewan, not exactly. I've known Wagner a long time. I'll be joining you back to Grofheim with my guards. Or is this something the Ludin still says? Ludin looks up for the first time. The woman doesn't react. Ludin, why? I work for the king, carrying tides to the capital. We crossed by chance. Oh, a tax collector. Fine company. What do you want? Just want to introduce myself. I hope to learn more about you. I have a habit of recording history. I thought we might talk about your visit. Yeah, let's go for that one. A Varl historian, haha. Don't you already know? Your king and mine both have been particularly trumpeting it throughout the city. I've been on the road a while, I'm afraid. Ludin takes a deep sigh. Whether tired or ungracious, you aren't certain. Maybe both. Ludin, a formality mostly. Wagner came to our capital in Arbereng, and now we go to the Varl's capital in Grofheim to cement the grand alliance for the next age of men and Varl. You sound unconvinced. There's no need for it, and it's damned cold up here. You get the sense he's struggling not to complain outright. You take the opportunity to excuse yourself. Do we still have the opportunity to talk to? Yes, it seems like it. Or we can go to the Great Hall. It seems that are the options. Guess we might as well talk to the guy. Hacken! Scrivener! You find Hacken in a meat house surrounded by other Var. Strand is no stranger to Var, but rarely sees this many. Hacken waves you over. Human. Went straight for a flagon? Wagner's the one who agreed to pass up a drink. I wasn't invited to the governor's hall anyway. You already missed the massacre. Every year I make the rounds collecting taxes. Every year it's the human settlements that give me trouble. No surprise. What this time? When I got here, the Great Hall was already full of bodies. We added a few more. Hacken. Ha, humans. I guess if I only lived as long as you as a Yox fart, I might be desperate to make something of myself too. Ewan, it's not too late to start trying, Hacken. Hacken lets slip a low chuckle. Any Varl could recount his deeds, known as he is for cutting a swath through Dredge at Wagner's side in the Second War, and regularly since then. Hacken. Down here I'm a glorified bodyguard. You might have a point. Just another reason to get back to Grofheim. Soon enough, I imagine, says Human. You drink until the meat house becomes overbearing, then step back into the cool air outside. At dawn you are awoken by a delivery of goods. At least you think it's dawn. Damn hard to tell with the sun that never moves. The governor's crest adorns the supply letters. All there, just as promised, to your mild surprise. You wonder if Eric had anything to do with that. Your guards take the treasure wagon down to the gates. Wagner is already there. A while later Ludin and his men appear, groggy and disheveled. Mogger steps forward. Wagner's quartermaster, if you recall correctly, in charge of his unwieldy entourage of warriors. You know him only in passing. He asks if you are ready to depart. We don't really have a choice, it seems. You follow Mugger and join the others. Usually the smaller doors set into the gates would be enough to enter or leave a city, but the town guards have been told to push them open entirely. They mutter things under their breath that are best not heard. Perhaps the governor expected you to draw a crowd, but there's nothing of a sort. Just frustrated, tired people. That summarizes Strand well as a whole, you think. Alright, let's cut it here, I think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.